No.
Oh, well, that upset me. I'm
there
sorry I
was
took it
that.
out on you.
You think tea is dumb?
I don't think tea's dumb. I only like green tea. I hate British tea.
What? English
That
breakfast?
is fucking crazy.
No,
honestly.
Asian teas are the only good teas.
Oh, great.
Pretty much all the tea is good, but English breakfast?
Oh,
If,
absolutely.
When are you drinking tea?
All the time. Not as much as I used to, but I have a box of green tea here.
Well, you're supposed
All
to.
right.
You're not just supposed to snack on the bags.
I snack on the bags. You can't see it because of my background. There we go. Private select.
He snacks on the bags.
I'll do it
The
now.
bag snacker.
My man snacks
Oh,
on the
no!
bags. No,
You're not even. That's not tea. That's a cracker. You son of a bitch.
No.
It's fiber.
It is that.
Anyway, I don't like teas that aren't Asian. I like the way they understand the tea leaf. I think Western people are wrong.
All right, so you need like a 4-hour-long ceremony
Yes.
that you can then use to predict the future.
Sure. You fancy yourself a bit of a gourmand
I'm a gourmand of tea.
of teas. You're a what? Like a what are the people who test wine to see
A
if it's good?
winomancer?
No. It's a sommelier.
Well,
yeah,
they-
well, a
They just know shit
sommelier.
about it.
They know how to whisper to it, how to command it. Wine bender.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I consider myself a tea bender.
Well, maybe you'll be interested in this week's Monstroko product. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name is Jordan Dahl.
I'm Nate Balding.
I'm Roger Norquist.
This week's Werewolf Radar is brought to you by Monstroko brand all-purpose object sauce. Pour it on non-food items to instantly turn them into food. Eat anything, eat everything. Monstroko, yum, yum, yum. There's an asterisk.
Always.
Items will turn back into not food. So
Wait,
apparently,
Why do
like
they
it's
keep
food.
doing that?
So it's like apparently you can pour this like catsup
Sure.
on, say, a clock. You eat the clock, and that's as far as it goes. And then you
Oh.
have to shit out a clock, I guess.
I mean, I've eaten some bad stuff. I've hurt. You know, what's
think-
one more hurt for something delicious? How
I-
delicious is it?
I
It
think
just
all-purpose.
takes a little time.
It's incredible. I think all-purpose object sauce is great for people who have to eat their way out of, say, a jail. Have to eat their way. If you're willing to pass it,
Oh.
you know, this is great for mules. This is great for, you know, I would say greedy, like misers who need to eat their gold when they hear someone coming. Can you imagine eating a big bowl of gold with delicious sauces on it?
Well, I have done that.
Yeah. And now it'll taste like food and you can chew it and stuff.
One time I
like it better
smoked
before.
gold.
You what?
Yep, I smoked gold.
Interesting. Like for what?
It was one of those Canagar things. It was like 0.5 of flour and then 0.2 of bubble hash and then like 0.2 of live resin and then it had like gold leaf around it. It cost
Whoa.
$300.
Wow.
But I smoked gold.
How did you get a hold of
you-
it?
Are you talking about just using a Bible piece to
no,
No,
smoke?
no, I'm
not
talking.
metaphorical gold, you Catholic nincompoop.
No, he means the gold gilding that Bibles have.
Oh, I'm sorry. I called you a Catholic nincompoop.
No, I've smoked gold. It had gold leaf, like a decent amount of gold. Like it probably had like a 10th ounce of gold.
Interesting. Did you notice any? I mean, how did you even get a hold of this in a fucking daring midnight raid on Chong's house?
I mean, they were sold for a short time. Colorado is a tourist industry for marijuana, and when people
Interesting.
come to Colorado, man, they bring thousands of dollars. Recently,
In bullion.
I recently sold some dude like $700 worth of cartridges.
That is
Damn.
fucking crazy.
Yes, it
Jesus.
is. So basically, what's $300 on a gold-laced fucking blunt?
I mean, that's a fucking expensive afternoon, is what that is.
Yeah, well, people are stupid.
I'm on Stroco. All-purpose object sauce. Eat anything. Eat everything. Monstroko. Yum yum.
We'll know you do it, stupid.
Monstroko Foods.
I think Monstroko brand people are stupid. It's pretty solid.
Monstroko brand foods, a subsidiary of the United States government. What in the world?
No.
Well, not this world, but
Oh my God, Universe A.
we've got fingers
no.
everywhere.
We have it on good information that Monstroko headquarters is firmly in Universe Zeta 3, way down the ladder.
There's a lot of universes.
It is
every
a place of
time-
screams and capitalism.
Every time anything gets a choice, a mosquito to a person, a new universe is created.
Mm-hmm. Yikes.
Yes, indeed.
So
What are we
it's-
talking about?
Well, we're talking about Bigfoot, baby. What else
It's
would we be
Big
talking
Bigfoot.
about?
Bigvember.
It's Bigvember. Bigfoot's out there. Bigfoot's making a ruckus. Bigfoot's dropping new tapes. Bigfoot's getting seen. Bigfoot's networking. You know, there's been a lot of buzz around the big web. That's what we call the third internet for just Bigfoot enthusiasts. It goes regular web, dark web, big web.
Yes.
And of course,
web is
we
huge.
here at Werewolf Radar recognized November as Bigfoot Awareness Month. Bigvember. We want to talk about all things Bigfoot all the time. And I would like to go first because I prepared a little something. Or should we save it for the end? We got some special effects, guys.
You know, I think we do it up front because it is a crazy piece.
Oh, we're doing it up front.
Well,
We're
I can
going-
go. I can
we're
go
going-
first, and we can maybe do like, okay, you go,
Hey,
you go.
Look, I'm in the potato sack. I'm going over the edge of this very steep slide.
Also, Nate, apparently you turned down your microphone in Zoom too, so no one can hear you in the Zoom.
Yes, I know. No, the microphone is up. I had to kill the audio so that I couldn't hear anything. Like,
Okay, we're
Interesting.
just
it had to be
trying.
done entirely.
Yes, no
Sure.
worries.
Bummer. So I'm gonna ask you guys to come over with me into the recording booth over here as we listen, we explore all about Bigfoot sounds in a segment that I'm calling Wax Tracks, Bigfoot Tracks in parentheses.
And then Jordan, if you could drop the files for the Zoom as well so they can hear
I
it.
shall. We are going back to a recent Bigfoot resource that I discovered called BigfootBase.com. BigfootBase.com, shout out, is in no way a sponsor of Werewolf Radar. We just like them. Here's a link for the Zoom room so you guys can listen along. If you're listening at home, you can also go to BigfootBase.com and go to Bigfoot Sounds and read along with us and listen and comment and be snarky with the Werewolf Radar home playset.
And I have all the files played up for us, Jordan.
And we're gonna try to play them through the dang podcast. We're gonna try to enter the next level.
We're doing
Podcasting.
a whole
And by
new
next
thing.
level, we mean 1950s
The first
talk radio.
Level. By the next level, we mean the first level. But we're gonna try it out here. So this is Bigfoot sounds, or as I'm calling it, wax tracks. Bigfoot tracks in parentheses. So from BigfootBase.com, Bigfoot sounds are some of the most bizarre yet intriguing elements of this field.
Yes.
If you find yourself out in the wilderness late at night, pay no attention to the bellows of finding Bigfoot's Bobo.
This is in quotations. Yeah, this isn't
Instead,
just you
this is-
losing your mind.
This is
Yeah, this
in
is
quotations and then with the picture of a middle finger towards Bobo.
Hey, come on. Look, Bobo's doing all right out there.
I know, I like him, but this was a swipe.
Instead, seriously, claws out. Instead, keep your ears peeled for rapid pitch shifting screams or a hectic conversation in the tree line that sounds like it's taking place in reverse. Now, when I say that this is the Bigfoot sounds segment, we are excluding stuff like knocking and kind of some of the bigger hoots and stuff like that, because we can go and look at, we can go on a Bigfoot YouTube rabbit hole for the sounds, but this is just kind of the basics, the bare bones.
This is specific to ear peeling.
Exactly. Yikes. So this is some of the most compelling Bigfoot evidence that has been recorded. It doesn't take us really up through modern day, but these are some fun sounds. So Bigfoot
through the ages.
calls, moans, and howls. Bigfoot calls are often compared to a howler monkey. Many have recorded what is said to be several Bigfoot communicating over miles and miles via long guttural cries. While possibly confused with midnight wailing of a coyote or fox, which sounds eerily like a shrieking woman, one can't deny the intriguing ape-like resemblance of the sounds. 1994, Finding Bigfoot's Matt Moneymaker recorded. Sorry, that just shake it, Matt. Recorded a loud, eerie moan somewhere along the Ohio River near Wellsville, Ohio, known as the Ohio Howl. This recording prompted a series of scientific evaluations and is used to this day for Bigfoot call blasting, which is a tactic that uses large stereo speakers in a vast and uninhabited wilderness, the starry night sky, and a Sounds of Bigfoot playlist on your iPod.
Now, could you imagine being Bigfoot and then walking through the woods as some humans are just blasting your ancestors' like speech just loudly through the forest?
Sure. And then you have to
have you ever been a white person walking around Santa Fe?
I feel like
all right, I see your point.
I feel like, yeah, and you have to take into consideration what the first Bigfoot that they recorded was saying. So it, like, to them it might just be somebody being like, flip flop, flip flops, and you're just like, what?
Why?
Fucking okay, and just like not return the call. Anyway, regardless, we have the Ohio Howl Bigfoot call as it appeared on Finding Bigfoot in 1994. Roger, can you play that first one?
Did they not think Ohio?
Is it the polyp scream?
No.
Bigfoot.
Finding Bigfoot.
Excellent.
The polyp scream.
Listen, we'll get to it. The Finding Bigfoot scream, everyone.
Oh yeah. That was not a barred owl. That was not coyote.
One more time.
One more time. Here it is.
Oh yeah. That was not a barred owl. That was not coyote.
All right. What's the possibility that it's just a guy named Steve?
I mean, honestly, if I was out camping with the kids or something and I heard like a loud yell, I might be like, whoa, flip flop, just to fuck with them.
I also have thought this too. Like, let's play that again because it's nothing fancy.
Oh yeah. That was not a bar.
Like, what if it's just some Bigfoot researcher screaming out into the wilderness and only a Bigfoot researcher's hearing it? So now this Bigfoot researcher thinks he heard evidence of Bigfoot because a Bigfoot researcher is screaming in the woods.
Roger, that is a real fucking Far Side strip that you've just drawn up for us.
Well,
and you need
call
to get
me
that
Gary
to
Larson because I
right
don't
away.
like certain people.
Get that. Oh no, is Gary Larson problematic?
I have no idea.
Oh, thank God.
Well, let's just say he's pushing the pole door.
We're going to move on to one of Roger's favorite sounds, and recently one of my favorite sounds, the Bigfoot samurai chatter, or the Sierra Sounds, as they call it.
Yes.
Chatter takes place in close quarters between these creatures. Perhaps the most acclaimed Bigfoot sounds, the Sierra Sounds, were recorded by investigative reporter Al Berry and hunter/outdoorsman Ron Moorhead in the early 1970s. In a remote Sierra Nevada deer hunting camp, Moorhead and Berry hung microphones from tree limbs and fastened them in bush branches. Over the course of several years, the two men and a group of hunter friends recorded extended audio clips of several unknown beings speaking a bizarre, somewhat sinister sounds. Much of this garbled dialogue is often called samurai chatter, problematic, by Bigfoot enthusiasts. Collectively, the Sierra Sounds span 80 minutes, over 1 hour of fantastic Bigfoot evidence. Can you go ahead and play?
It begins.
When all of a sudden I was awakened by some strange sounds.
Ow.
It was very startling. I didn't know what to think. I had very mixed emotions. On one hand, I was wondering, well, could somebody possibly be out there doing it, some human being? And on the other hand, viscerally, my knees were shaking and my insides were turning a bit. And I was wondering if maybe what I was hearing was some creature that was stranger than anything that we knew.
And
Pretty
that's
wild.
Pretty wild. Full language.
Pretty wild stuff. It sounds like a language. It sounds like an ape. It sounds, I don't know. It sounds legit. It's the thing. It like gives me goosebumps to think that this was just a microphone that was hung in the woods of California, you know, in the Sierra
Cryptolinguists have
Nevadas.
looked at it. The people who kind of help the CIA and whatnot
Sure.
decode languages that are unknown, like when they're dealing with chatter, they'll just decipher which language it is. They take it as, this is a language that is, the right amount of randomness, but not too strict. Like it's a flowing, living language that's being spoke.
They actually mention it here on BigfootBase.com. They say the recordings were even analyzed by a professor of electrical engineering at the University of Wyoming, Dr. Arlen Kerlin, determined the evidence was valid and organic. The vocal spectrum far exceeded the range of an average human. Wentworth professor and former cryptolinguist Scott Nelson discovered a phonetic language within the Sierra Sounds.
He gets it. It's also on the Missing 411 documentary, The
Truly.
Hunted.
Pretty wild stuff. It is, who's to say that these guys didn't fake it? Who's to say? It does sound like an ape, but it's like you could get an ape. I get you an ape by today, baby.
I can teach an ape to do this.
It sounds like an ape. It sounds like when you hear chimps kind of communicating with each other. It kind of sounds like that type of thing. But at the same time,
you give me enough cigarettes, I'll teach a chimp to do whatever you want.
You'll see a chimp skateboard through an avalanche.
It's called snowboarding, but yeah.
Nope.
No,
skateboard.
No. Nate means a chimpanzee smoking a cigarette on a skateboard, skating down the avalanche.
Hell yeah. Zach Galifianakis is okay. So pretty wild stuff. The Samurai Sounds. Check it out. Go down that YouTube hole. There are more. So next we're gonna move on to Bigfoot Screams.
Yes.
Bigfoot Base says terrifying, eerie, haunting, anguished.
No, but is it a tour de force?
These are powerful words.
Yes, Nate. It's
used
a tour
to
de
describe
force.
Bigfoot on Broadway. Bigfoot, I still round. Bigfoot still round out here. Bigfoot can hear you talk. Bigfoot hears what you say. Bigfoot eats mushroom and berry.
Don't destroy the forest. It is his home.
Guys, occasionally I'm proud of us.
Does the castle doctrine apply to Bigfoot? Is that why we should get out of there?
There's also a great book called Bigfoot, I Not Dead. That you guys should check out by an illustrator. They're not super active on Twitter or Instagram, but I follow them, and I found the book in a comic book shop one time, and it was it's incredible. It's about Bigfoot going back to the forest where he grew up now that he's all big and famous around the world. It's very good. So these are the typical and powerful words used to describe the unusual screams of unknown origin, supposed Bigfoot screams. Typically considered unclassifiable, they don't sound like a fox, they don't sound like coyotes, and they don't sound human. Many describe the screams as possessing a demonic or evil quality. Jeez, who wrote this?
I knew it. That's why he smells of sulfur.
The purveyors of the Bigfoot video game?
Yeah, by the way,
hold on.
if you watch our stream of that, we killed Bigfoot and look into his eyes.
Yeah, we glitched
there is
out.
a demon inside of that.
We glitched out and we slayed his ass. But there's an update coming. Hey, get at us, purveyors of Bigfoot the video game. We will beta test that shit for you.
We have ideas.
We have thoughts. While the sources may be coincidentally timed combinations of common animals, interesting take, the power, breadth, and persistence of the screams strongly suggest otherwise. Something truly terrifying with a huge set of
What do they mean,
lungs.
a combination of animals?
As though you could like catch a moment where a wolf's like, oh, I'm gonna howl, and a woodpecker's like, ooh, I'm gonna scream.
Oh, okay,
and a cow's like, I feel like mooing.
I
And then
thought
they
it
all do
was
at
like
once.
the woodpecker and the wolf mated, and now we have a creature that is not describable,
Which
and it
would-
makes this sound.
I
It
was
would-
for sure picturing like a rat king.
It's
made
a-
different.
Don't worry, just a wad of nature.
Don't
Tumbling.
worry, my son. That's just the wad of nature. It's a nature king.
It's a nature king. Don't fear it. Don't get near it. The nature king.
Yeah. That's the thing you got to watch out for out there in the forest is the nature
Don't-
king.
Don't worry about that. That's not a thing yet. The radar would ping it. We'd know about it, and you would know about it. So in the spring of 1973, a young boy and girl rode their bikes through a forested area outside the Puyallup, Washington area. They passed. First of all, I'd like to be proud of myself for pronouncing Puyallup correctly.
I still think it's pronounced
Thank you, Adam
Puyallup.
P. in the Zoom. They passed an expansive gravel pit area and stopped suddenly. A hulking black creature walked across the road 150 yards in front of the children. It looked at them, but continued into the dense forest across the way. Sup?
Oh God! Wait, is it like my
Terrifying.
background where just he's walking by and is like, "Sup?"
It's exactly like that.
Good radio. Okay.
Are you Linda Hamilton?
Listen, this
from
is
the
also in
series
a
we're on?
video form. We're good.
They rode home terrified. Unbeknownst, this website misspelled road. R-O-D.
It has an H.
Bigfoot base. Nope. Okay, never mind. Unbeknownst to the frightened pair, they may have come face to face with the creature that had been haunting Puyallup with terrifying moonlit shrieks for weeks. Their encounter
Moonlit shrieks is a fun verb.
for weeks, baby.
If your shrieking gets moonlit, that is very strange. This is unrelated. Well, it's sort of related. My girlfriend, this morning we woke up and she's got OCD, so she has to vacuum constantly. There was a sunbeam coming through that we could see dust on. And she straight up was like, well, now I have to dust this out.
You want to dust the sun?
She was vacuuming a sunbeam.
No, you don't have. That's not on you.
It's
Oh,
Colorado's a bad place. What I suggest
what?
for dust, it's a very bad place. What I suggest,
Oh, okay.
16 pure air purifiers.
Oh,
That will get the dust out.
interesting. Float yourself in a vat of Neosporin like Roger does.
Yep.
Oh, we already do that.
Yeah, sure.
And you're
sure.
doing enough.
Yeah.
You're doing the most you can.
So may have been culminated. Their encounter may have been the culminating moment in the Puyallup Screamer episode, but it didn't get out of town without leaving some hard evidence. Play that Puyallup Scream.
This
All
fully
right.
sounds
One
like
moment.
the description of a porno movie.
Oh, what? Oh, wrong
Nope,
one.
that's
No,
that's
that
just
was
music.
the porno movie.
All right, here we go. Oh, that's a good one.
That just sounds like machinery to me.
You're gonna have to put on your headphones or turn this up real loud.
I'm
but you
turning
can
it up
hear
for you guys. Don't worry. Let's play it one more time.
one more time. Enhance. It's incredible. You hear at the end, you hear the kid go, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god, it's
It's-
windy. It's something, but like there's something that then cuts through it, and
Look.
it's a shriek for sure.
It is sound from the 70s for sure, but boy, to hear it at a distance, it sounds like the scream of something immense, something just fucking hollering like 4 miles away. You know,
Hollering about what? Like what?
Just-
Why make
who
that
knows?
sound so loud? That's what I've always wondered too.
Sure.
Like,
maybe
is it a mating call? Is that the most frightening mating call on tape?
maybe it's like wolves. Maybe they're just communicating. Maybe they're just expressing their anguish for what Davy Crockett and his ilk did to the land.
They
That's
did so
very-
much.
Yeah, that seems
Check out the
very
Patreon.
reasonable.
We talk about David Crockett
In the Grave Nugget.
encountering a Bigfoot. Anyway,
Or did the Bigfoot encounter David Crockett?
there is one last note at the end of the Bigfoot-based article on Bigfoot Sounds here. It says the Hall's Great Smoky Mountains encounter, and unfortunately we don't have this sound, but you can find it. It says when he was a university at Tennessee Knoxville, when he was a student at the University of Tennessee Knoxville, a man
And we're
named
talking
Tim
about Bigfoot.
a man named Tim Hall experienced what he believes to be a Bigfoot scream at the summit of the Mount LeConte in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Tim and 5 of his friends were hired by the park for general labor and restoration efforts. Caught in the winter storm without whiteout one evening in a ranger's cabin high up on the mountain, they were awoken by a horrific shrieking. The something pounded on the cabin door, beating it hard enough to flex the wood inward. Tim felt hopeless, believing the creature would undoubtedly kill all of them if it knocked through the door.
Hell yeah, man.
This is incredible. I've told you about the screams that I heard, right, off of Colfax.
No, tell me about the screams.
I definitely have. I've mentioned it on another podcast, but I woke up to something immense screaming in the alley behind my ex-girlfriend's house, right off of Colfax, and it was like I thought it was like
Well,
like
I
some
can
kinda
tell you what
ape
it is. It was
or
a
something?
violent crime.
dude, it was not. It didn't. So here's the whole story. I woke up to what in my mind only could have been like a bull or like the screaming of a baboon mixed together, just like
Sure.
this god awful from the alley.
A baboon in the alley.
A baboon. And I shot out of bed and I heard somebody in the alley also scream and then run around the house screaming the whole time, help me, help me, help me, help me. I heard them like fucking Doppler effect run around the house out into Colfax, and fucking the walls felt paper thin. It was insane. I felt hopeless is a good word for it. I felt like whatever that was, this house cannot stop.
Did
it.
you hear a werewolf murder?
I don't know
Or
what
a
the fuck I
werewolf
heard.
assault? Like that's what it sounds like. It sounds like a werewolf transformed.
Here's the thing. It persisted after I woke up. I definitely heard it, to my memory, somebody running around the house yelling, help me, help me, help me. And when I say around, I mean like just by and out into the street. If that's what woke me up and my brain turned that into some kind of monster sound or whatever, that might have happened. But I mean, it also didn't wake up my girlfriend at the time. So I don't know. It's strange enough that I'm telling the story 15 years later.
Oh, this is 15 years ago. Shit.
Turns
you?
out Nate's involved.
Was it you, Nate?
Nate needed a feast every 15 years.
Was this during your PCP phase?
Yes, it might have been.
Okay, well, question answered. And that does it for Wax Tracks, Bigfoot Tracks in parentheses.
All right, good job, Jordan.